Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is your host Louis and this is Luminous Podcast. And I have changed my microphone from a glue stick to an S Pen. Yay! Sorry for being annoying. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you for your support, guys, as I received more than 100 views in the first episode of Luminous Podcast, which I didn't expect, and it means a lot to me. Yeah, and one thing that I just want to apologize in advance to you guys is that I forgot to mention my personal strategies and tactics that I use to grind my English skill in general. I don't know why, I just explained almost everything briefly, and I didn't go deeper than I thought. So yeah, that was my mistake. So thank you for your support, guys. By the way, birds are squawking? Is that a word? But I will edit it out as much as possible. So please be patient for birds squawking outside of my apartment. Let's get started. So in this videos, I'm not gonna talk about tips and tricks to improve your English, but I just want to say about some sort of mindset things and stuff that you need to incorporate into your learning journey. And I believe that these things that I'm going to be talking about are vital, not only for acquiring a new language, but also for forming a habit in general. I'm pretty sure that this video will be worth your time. So with that being said, let's get started. So the first thing, what you need to do is you need to shift your mindset from thinking everything that happened to you negatively to pondering things that happened to you positively as much as possible. So what do I mean by that? So I'm gonna provide you an example of learning English. So whenever we get down to business, start learning a new vocabulary, let's say, okay? So we tend to think our brains are prone to think almost everything that happened to us in a negative way. For example, you start learning a new grammar pattern, but it is very challenging for you to acquire within the short amount of period. So our brain is more inclined to think this grammar is very difficult for you. You either stop learning or just choose other patterns which are way much easier or which are way much more in alignment with your capability. And what do? We tend to choose things or exercise which are way much easier or we have already known. What is the point of repeating things that we have already known? The second thing is do not fear making mistakes. That advice is very a no-brainer. I can relate to you guys because it is easier said than done. A lot of people, even including me, growing up thinking that everything must be perfect. Our perfectionism has been ruining our perspective and thoughts on things that we can do, if that makes sense. So for example, whenever I start writing an essay or whenever I speak in English, I tried as perfect as I can. So at the end of the day, I will be disappointed by the result or by the way that I spoke, as I did make a lot of mistake. But it is completely okay. The more you make mistake, the better you become, and the more you learn a lot from your mistakes. That is when reflections comes into play. We need to reflect or introspect on things that happen to us, especially mistakes and blunders that we made, because it's inevitable. We're gonna make a lot of mistakes in our life, either major or minor, because it is part of human nature, and we cannot deny the fact that humans have tendency to make a lot of mistakes. But we should not dwell on our past and just keep moving forward, if that makes sense. That is why whenever you learn a new language or like a new vocabulary, idiomatic expressions, or grammar patterns, never forget to introspect on things that you made, especially mistakes. We rarely reflect on like errors that we make because it takes time and we are easily bored to review our stuff in general, so it is not good. Another factors that we also should take into account is that we are what we repeat. That is what we call like snowball effect or compound interest, if I'm correct. So let's say like you learn 5 vocabularies each day. Like when you repeat this process, days after days, weeks after weeks, years after years, everything multiplies, everything snowballs, and at the end of the day, you become good at what you repeat. A lot of people are very slag off and lay back to experience or witness new things in their life. Either they're afraid of stepping into the unknown, or they don't believe in themselves that they are capable of trying things out or having to go at something demanding, if that makes sense. But we all live once, right? We all live once. So if you change nothing, you will become nothing. That's it. Yeah, so that is all for today, guys. So see you back in another episode. Bye.